Hello and welcome back to WION World is One. I'm Kanishka Sarkar and this is Speed News. Let's get started with all the stories that are making headlines at this hour. The US military said it completed its sixth consecutive night of strikes on Iran, targeting dozens of military sites, including air defense systems, logistics, infrastructure, and maritime capabilities. Releasing footage of the strikes, CENTCOM said fighter jets, drones, and warships carried out precision strikes under President Donald Trump's direction. Iran accused the US of hitting civilian sites and threatened retaliation as fighting intensified around the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Iran said that a US attack on the Bandar-e-Khamir bridge in the Hormozgan province killed at least 7 people and injured 9. The White House says US President Donald Trump remains open to diplomacy with Iran despite renewed hostilities between the two sides. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Washington continues to communicate with Tehran but warned that Trump would hold Iran accountable if it failed to honor its commitments.
Settle so.
Kuwait says its air defenses are responding to missile and drone attacks a day after the Gulf state faced aerial strikes from Iran. The Kuwaiti army said its forces were engaging hostile missiles and drone attacks following what it called Iranian aggression. In Bahrain, authorities activated warning sirens and urged residents to take shelter over Iran threats. Iranian state media said its forces had targeted US military assets in Bahrain in response to recent American strikes on Iranian infrastructure as tensions continue to rise across the Gulf region. Qatar says it intercepted a missile attack targeting the country after blasts were heard in the capital Doha. Authorities raised the security threat level and urged residents to take shelter as regional tensions escalated amid a series of Iran-linked attacks. US President Donald Trump has accused China of compromising US election data, saying he would declassify intelligence on potential vulnerabilities in the electoral system. Trump's claims reignite long-standing allegations about the 2020 presidential election, though multiple investigations found no evidence of widespread fraud or affected results. Japan has enacted a law making it a criminal offense to damage, remove, or deface the national flag. In public, under the new law, offenders could face up to 2 years in prison or a fine of up to about $1,200. The government argues that the law was needed because Japan already criminalized damaging foreign flags but had no equivalent rules covering its own. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has named SBU Security Chief Yevgeny Khmara as acting defense minister while he continues to oversee long-range operations. Zelensky said Khmara knows what Ukraine needs as the country continues its war effort. The appointment comes after the removal of popular defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov. Zelensky also announced a new government led by Sergei Koretsky, who has experience in state energy companies. Hundreds of people have gathered in Kyiv to protest the removal of Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov following President Volodymyr Zelensky's government reshuffle. Similar demonstrations have been reported across Ukraine, with protesters questioning the decision to dismiss Fedorov after only 6 months in the role. Fedorov carved a reputation as a modernizer who tried to reform the Ukrainian military, which has faced ongoing challenges including manpower shortages, fatigue, and previous scandals during the war with Russia. Protesters in Kyiv stayed into the night and said they would return, calling for clarity over the reasons behind the removal. Funeral services were held in Baraki for 11 victims, including children, who died in an orphanage fire in the southeastern suburbs of Algiers. The Algerian Prime Minister and several government officials attended the ceremony to pay tribute to the victims after the deadly blaze broke out in an orphanage on Tuesday night. Authorities are continuing their investigation into the cause of the deadly fire. Indian gangster Nitish Kaushal has been arrested in Vermont after being placed on the FBI's most wanted list. Kaushal is accused of links to the Bhagwanpuria organized crime group and alleged involvement in kidnapping and assault cases. Authorities say his arrest follows a major international effort to locate and detain the wanted suspect. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has flagged off India's first hydrogen-powered train. Developed by the Chennai-based Integral Coach Factory, the train will operate on the 89-kilometer Jind-Sonipat route in Haryana under the Delhi division of Northern Railway. The launch marks a significant milestone in India's journey toward clean, green and sustainable rail transport. On to some climate-related updates now. In France, hundreds of firefighters have managed to contain two major wildfires that burned more than 2,000 acres of the historic Fontainebleau forest near Paris since July 12. Despite the progress, threat remains. Crews are continuing to extinguish smoldering hotspots across the burnt forest to prevent the fires from reigniting. Around 120 military engineers have joined nearly 1,000 firefighters on the ground to help secure the area. Visiting the Fontainebleau forest, French President Emmanuel Macron vowed zero tolerance for arsonists, saying every wildfire puts lives at risk and amounts to an attack on the nation. Spain is facing one of its most serious wildfires in years. Authorities say the blaze in the northeastern region of Aragon could take days to control. More than 400 firefighters backed by Spain's military emergency unit are battling the growing fire. The fire has forced the evacuation of 5 villages with around 7,600 hectares of forest and farmland already destroyed. Dramatic new images from Ancasio in northern Spain show firefighters battling fast-moving flames as fire fronts advance across dry vegetation. According to local media, the town's 600 residents were ordered to evacuate as the blaze threatened homes.
Cuidado que salta abajo, ¿eh?
A landslide struck the southwestern Chinese city of Chongqing, burying several residential buildings and trapping in many people. State media said emergency responders were deployed to the scene with search and rescue operations underway to locate those under trapped debris. Authorities have yet to confirm the number of casualties. On to tech-related updates now. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, has rejected Tesla's request to avoid a recall for nearly 20,000 Model 3 and Model Y vehicles with headlights that may exceed federal brightness limits. Tesla had argued that the issue did not pose a safety risk and that it was unaware of any crashes or injuries linked to the headlights. However, NHTSA said the brighter-than-allowed headlights could create glare for other road users, especially in rain, fog, or snow, increasing safety risks. The recall affects certain 2017 to 2023 Tesla Model 3 and Model Y vehicles. And the agency said Tesla must proceed with the recall fix. A new study by Mozilla, the non-profit organization best known for developing the Firefox web browser, has found that period tracking app Stardust shared user-sensitive health data with a third-party analytics company, raising fresh privacy concerns. The study found that information such as users' birth dates, birth control details, reproductive goals, and symptoms was shared with analytics firm Rudderstack, linked to unique identifiers. Mozilla said Stardust was the only one of 6 period tracking apps tested that shared sensitive health data with a third party, while recommending Yuki as the most privacy-friendly option because users' health data remained on users' devices. Two young hackers linked to the notorious cybercrime group Scattered Spider have been sentenced to 5 years and 6 months in prison in the UK. In a move authorities say has dealt a major blow to the hacking group, Owen Flowers, 18, and Thala Jubair, 20, pleaded guilty to the 2024 cyber attack on Transport for London, which disrupted ticketing services and real-time train information for weeks. Authorities said the attack caused losses of around $47 million in that the hackers had deep access to Transport for London systems, giving them the ability to shut down critical operations. Michigan residents are protesting a massive $16 billion AI data center project, saying it could threaten water supplies, strain the power grid, and also change the region's rural character. The project, called the Barn, is being developed by Oracle, OpenAI, Blackstone, Related Digital, and Wallbridge, and it is part of a Stargate AI infrastructure initiative. A recent Reuters Ipsos poll found that only 33% of Americans approve of the current pace of data center construction, while just 14% would support one being built in their own community. Despite local opposition, construction has started after a legal settlement, with developers promising thousands of jobs, billions in tax revenue, and no impact on local water or electricity supply. Google has delayed the release of its flagship Gemini 3.5 Pro AI model as the company works to improve its performance, especially in coding. According to a Bloomberg report, the model was originally expected to launch in June after CEO Sundar Pichai announced the timeline at Google I/O, but the release is now reportedly months behind schedule. The report said some Google engineers and AI researchers are concerned that rivals OpenAI and Anthropic have recently released more advanced AI models, putting pressure on Google. Google said it is currently testing Gemini 3.5 Pro with partners and remains focused on delivering high-performance, cost-effective AI models for the customers. X has announced tougher rules to stop users from stealing content and manipulating its creator revenue program, using its latest growth AI model to detect copied posts more effectively. The company said the new AI can identify duplicate content 3 times better than before, and any revenue from stolen posts will now be credited to the original creator. X said it detected 1.5 million stolen posts in its latest review, with more than $1 million in creator payouts being redirected to the original content owners. The platform also warned that users who repeatedly steal content or use engagement bait to gain likes and follows could be removed from the creator program or have their accounts suspended. On to updates from the world of business now. Brazil has described the latest 25% US tariffs on certain Brazilian imports as unjust and politically motivated. The Lula administration has threatened to impose reciprocal measures on US products. The country's top diplomat criticized US Secretary of State Marco Rubio for the move. Now, Brazil's government has convened top ministers to prepare retaliatory measures against Washington's latest tariffs, with options including curbs on US audiovisual companies and suspension of pharmaceutical and agricultural patents. The measures under consideration are in line with Brazil's reciprocity law, which President Lula pledged his government would invoke in response to the US's latest string of tariffs. Japan's tech share stumbled on Friday as a sell-off in US semiconductor stocks spread across Asian markets, raising fresh concerns over the sustainability of the AI boom. SoftBank dropped 8.8%, while Tokyo Electron and Advanced Test also suffered sharp losses. Chipmaker Kioxia fell after a major patent ruling. Investors are increasingly questioning whether massive AI infrastructure spending and soaring valuations can be justified. The decline follows a broader pullback in global technology shares as markets reassess the pace of AI investment and future growth prospects. Netflix shares fell in after-hours trading after the streaming giant issued a weaker-than-expected forecast for the third quarter revenue as well as earnings. The company says subscriber growth is normalizing after a strong first half of the year, while it continues to invest in its advertising business, live programming, and artificial intelligence despite the softer outlook. Netflix reaffirmed its full-year guidance, betting new content and expanding ad-supported offerings will support long-term growth. The Federal Reserve says it could raise interest rates if inflation fails to keep slowing. Fed Vice Chair Philip Jefferson warned that ongoing price pressures may require additional action from policymakers. He said the central bank remains committed to bringing inflation under control while supporting economic growth and a healthy labor market. Jefferson added that officials will continue monitoring economic data closely before making any decisions on the future path of interest rates. A shirt worn by Pele during the 1958 FIFA World Cup has sold for $4.9 million. It is the most valuable Pele item ever sold at an auction and the second most valuable football shirt ever sold, only behind Diego Maradona's Hand of God jersey, which fetched $9.3 million. The blue Brazil number 10 shirt was worn by a 17-year-old Pele in Stockholm, where Brazil defeated host nation Sweden 5-2 to win its first World Cup title. Pele scored twice in the final, becoming the youngest player ever to score in a World Cup final, a record that still stands. After receiving 10 bids from more than 5 bidders, the shirt sold for $4.9 million during the Sotheby's Sports Week in New York. Next up, some entertainment updates. Tom Cruise has officially purchased his ticket for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. The Top Gun star shared a photo of him holding his ticket in front of a display. This is not the first time Cruz has shown his support to movie makers. In 2023, he made headlines when he participated in the Barbenheimer trend, even when his film Mission Impossible was competing against both Barbie and Oppenheimer in theaters. Damien Chazelle's musical masterpiece La La Land is dancing its way back to the big screen in celebration of its landmark 10th anniversary. The six-time Academy Award-winning film starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling will return to theaters in August. In 2016, La La Land brought back the golden age of original Hollywood musicals. It was one of the rare moments when a non-animated musicals achieved immense success. Oscar-winning director Danny Boyle's latest film, Ink, a drama about Rupert Murdoch's accusation of British tabloid newspaper, will open the 2026 Venice Film Festival. The film, which stars Jack O'Neill, Guy Pearce and Claire Foy, will premiere in competition at the Sala Grande on the Lido. The 83rd edition of the Venice Film Festival will run from September 2nd to 12th, with the lineup to be announced later in July. Jurassic Park star Sam Neill died of pneumonia, his agent said in a message aimed at providing clarity to fans. Neill died in Australia at the age of 78. The statement read, and I quote here, "Sam passed away from pneumonia. Prior to becoming sick, Sam valiantly fought and beat lymphoma through a new treatment called CAR-T therapy," unquote. The actor's family will hold a private ceremony in New Zealand. The highly anticipated cinematic epic Ramayana has been cleared. The Central Board of Film Certification has officially passed the film's massive 4-minute and 15-second trailer with a completely unrestricted URIS certificate. The extended runtime promises an incredibly detailed first look at director Nitesh Tiwari's mythological magnum opus. The trailer is scheduled to release globally on July 24th.